So welcome back to my channel. My name is Addie, and today's video is one of my all-time favorite videos to film each year, and it is summerween. And I know it is very late. Summerween was supposed to be like July 5th. It's now a month later. July was just absolutely insane for me. I don't know why. Like, I had function after function after function. I just could not get a break. August is much more chill, much more laid back, and I was like, you know what, I'll just do it then so I can actually like enjoy Summerween and not like be like stressed out about it. So those of you that don't know, Summerween is a readathon that happens once a year. This is the Instagram page for it, and they put out these 5 prompts, and it's basically like a big readathon that you do over the course of a week. I have picked out some books for Summerween, and I'm so excited. So I'll go prompt by prompt and we can go through the TBR together. So the first prompt is read a book in the dark or at night, and I think for this I'm going to go with Dead 11 by Jimmy Giuliano. I got this actually at a book fair last September with my mom, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna save this for Summerween, and I'm so excited about it. Honestly, what caught my eye about it was it's set in Door County, and I currently live in Wisconsin, so it's fun to kind of have that vibe to it. It also just gives like summer. I feel like the cover, like the cassette tape, and Door County is a very popular like summer destination spot. It's very cute, very touristy. It also doesn't seem too frightening, so that's why I picked this one to read in the dark, because I think I'll get like the spooky feeling, but I won't feel like, ooh, like I'm terrified right now. The prompt says, on a creepy island where everyone has a strange obsession with the year 1994. It's like a tiny island off of like Door County's like peninsula. So I'm very intrigued by this, and I've been waiting a while to read it, and I would love to get it off my TBR, and I'm very excited. I love this has like mixed media in it, so I think this is going to be like a quick read, and I love when books do mixed media. It's like probably one of my top 3 like things that books add. I just think I just love mixed media, so very excited about this. The next book is read a horror or thriller book, and for this I'm going to go with Shawshank Redemption by Stephen King. I actually have 2 like little baby Stephen King books on this DVR because I am so behind on my reading goal, and I would really like to get that bumped up a little, and I feel like a quick little like couple novellas will be able to do that well. And I love reading Stephen King for Summerween. He's an icon. He's that girl. This is actually, I got this for like $5 at like the Starbucks counter at Barnes, and they're like, I see you have another Stephen King book on your list. Do you want this one? And I was like, it's $5. Also, fun fact, this is my grandma's all-time favorite movie, so I really want to get to this so I can watch the movie with her because she has been talking about it for so long. This one is about an unjustly imprisoned convict who seeks a strangely satisfying revenge. So I'm very excited to read this one. I feel like it's a very iconic Stephen King book. I definitely am trying to get my way through all the Stephen King books, which is going to take me until the day I die probably, but slowly but surely it's going to happen. The next prompt is read a book with a sky on the cover, and this might be very far-fetched, but I'm going with Overgrowth by Mira Grant. There's like some you cannot see it at all. Oh, there we go. There's like constellations and stuff. Like, this is the earth, this is the sky. I'm going with it. But I read Into the Drowning Deep for Summerween last summer, and I absolutely loved it. It was a 5-star read, completely took me by surprise. It was so good. So obviously I picked up her new release. This one is about an alien invasion, and it's basically about this 3-year-old girl who keeps telling people that they're like aliens disguised as humans on Earth, and like she's 3 and no one's really believing her. But by the time that the invasion starts to come, might be too late. So her books are always very spooky. I love the sci-fi elements in her books. It's kind of like sci-fi horror, I would say, just because it's so spooky, but the spookiness is like backed by science, and like that makes it like worse, I feel, because I'm like, wait, like, so this could like actually like happen. You have me convinced. She had me convinced last year that mermaids were real, so I'm gonna be convinced that there are aliens just walking around. after this. And then the next prompt is read a book that you've owned for over a year, and for this prompt I'm going with Murder Road by Simone St. James. I have had this on my TBR for quite a while. It's been at least a year, but I've heard really great things about this and it's very intriguing. It seems like a very quick horror read, but I did hear this one's like actually frightening, so might have to read this in the daytime. It says a young couple find themselves haunted by a string of gruesome murders committed along a old deserted road and in this terrifying new novel. One thing about me is like I hate being outside in the middle of nowhere at night. It drives my boyfriend crazy because I like just get really freaked out. Like if I'm like in the woods or like kind of in a deserted area at night, I get really freaked out. I don't know what it is. I think it's like the trees, like they start to look like people. I don't know what it is. So a deserted road at night might be my worst nightmare. So I think this one's gonna definitely give me the heebie-jeebies, but I'm very excited to get to it. I need like a good, it's in the spirit of summerween to have a good scare, so I'm very excited to get to this one. And then the last prompt is read a novella, manga, or listen to a spooky audiobook. And I think this counts as a novella. It's The Mist by Stephen King. It is only 165 pages. It's definitely a novella. So I decided to pick up another Stephen King book because this, it just like gives like quintessential summerween. It's in the wake of a destructive summer thunderstorm, an impenetrable mist descends in the direction of a local military facility and infiltrates the small town of Bridgeton, Maine. So we're actually this week having a huge string of just like summer thunderstorms. So this is actually such perfect timing to pick up this book. And I just really love Stephen King and I want to read a few more of his books, but I definitely wanted more of a novella vibe for this year because within the last year, I feel like my reading pace has slowed down. I don't know what's going on with that, but like I'm just not reading as fast as I used to read. So I felt like I needed to give myself a little grace for this readathon and tone down the amount of pages that we have. But I'm very excited for this. I think this is what I'm going to start with for this vlog. I see some clouds rolling in, so I'm very excited to pick this up and make this my first book of summerween. Hoping to finish this today so I can stay on track. Other plans for this week's reading vlog is I am definitely gonna make like a spooky like fall pastry of a sort, and so definitely some fall baking. I definitely want to go to Home Goods or Michael's or something to check out the Halloween decor and get myself prepped for the upcoming fall. I'm so excited. And then obviously Michael's for some spooky crafting. I'm not sure which craft I'm going to pick. I'm still working on my knitted shawl, which we all know about. It's not really that spooky, but I do definitely want to get going on that. And I'll definitely pick something else. We'll have a summerween journal spread as always. So lots of fun things going on this week and I'm so excited. So I am going to quit yapping your ear off and just get into the reading vlog. It is the next day and I have completed The Mist by Stephen King. I'm making fabulous time on this vlog. I really enjoyed this one. I feel like it was a perfect start to summerween. I'm really glad I decided to pick this one up. It was just so perfect for like the summery spooky vibes. It was in the wake of like after a summer storm, and it was like right on like a lake in Maine too, so the atmosphere was perfect for like a summerween read. So this book basically follows this guy David, and he lived in this like small coastal Maine town his whole life. He has a wife and a kid. Basically, after in the wake of this summer storm, he sees this mist rolling in, and at first they don't really think that much of it. He's like, that's just, it's odd, but like lakes get mist, it's fine. Him and his son and their neighbor end up going to the grocery store just to pick up some things, some dinner. And while they are there, the mist begins to engulf the grocery store, and they are essentially trapped there, or else if they leave, there are things, creatures in the mist that are waiting to hunt them down and kill them. It's very deadly, and if they go out, they die. And it's really interesting. They talk about the reasoning behind it, and it's this Project Atmosphere or something. It's basically this military base in Maine where they're like, maybe it's coming from there because they have been experimenting, doing some odd stuff there. It's been causing some weird like seasonal weather patterns going on. So a lot of people blame this project this military base is doing. I do wish they explored that a little bit more in the book. Like they just kept saying like, oh, it's this one project, and I'm like, what is it though? I wish like some of that got answered, or they like someone explained like what they were doing over at that base. I feel like that would have made it make a little bit more sense, but I guess I didn't really need to. I didn't really need it to understand like what was going on, but like I can make some inferences. But I did find that aspect interesting, and I would have liked to know more about it. So obviously they were trapped in this grocery store with like a ton of other people, so we got like a lot of really interesting characters that they were trapped in the store with. And there's one in particular, this crazy like old lady, very like religious, thought it was the end of the world was coming, and she was awful, but she was interesting to read about. And then other just side characters were quirky, they were kind of funny, which like some of it was like kind of a good like relief. It was definitely an interesting commentary on like flight or flight like situations. Like I feel like it had a very accurate representation of all the different ways that people react under like very dire life or death circumstances, like the fight, flight, freeze, or in this case like very disbelief. And it was very interesting. So I liked that all the different characters, I feel like, made it a very well-rounded story for something that was only like 165 pages. I also just thought the scenes that we got like with the mist, it was very spooky, very interesting. Like those creatures, like they were like described like kind of like big bugs in a way. I'm also deathly afraid of bugs. Like I hate bugs. I hate all kinds of bugs. They just give me the heebie-jeebies. The descriptions of like the really big bugs were definitely making me like squirm. Stephen King always does a really good job of like his descriptions just making you be like, ooh, like it feels odd. So I love his writing. I feel like some of the decisions that the main character made, I'm like, this was written by a man. It was so like, there was just so blaringly obvious. It's like, yeah, only a man could write this. Like as much as I love Stephen King, I'm like, your man is showing in your pages. Not necessarily a bad thing. It was written in the 80s and he is a man, but it was definitely some questionable choices where I was like, this is like, I'm uncomfy reading this, like just because like you're making really poor life choices right now. So I guess that is my only complaint. I liked that it was 165 pages. I don't think I needed more. I feel like it was the perfect page count for what it was. I definitely got the spooky summer vibes, and I really enjoyed this, and I'm very excited to read another Stephen King in this vlog. I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for like a summery spooky read that's short, quick, but very much a fully like a well flushed out story. So on to the next book on the TBR. I don't know what I want to read. I think I'm leaning towards Murder Road by Simone St. James, because as much as I love The Mist, I loved it very much. It was a very good summer read. I want something a little bit thrilling. I want something that's going to really give me like kind of like a scare. And I've heard that this book is pretty scary. It's pretty short. It's only a little bit over 300 pages, so I think I can knock this out pretty quickly. I was thinking I'd start Dead 11. I'm gonna be out tonight, and The next time I'm probably gonna get a lot of reading done is tomorrow, which it's daylight, and Dead 11 is my nighttime book. So I'm hoping I can start this today, finish this tomorrow, or the next day, and like actually read at night with Dead 11. But yeah, I really want like a very spooky, scary read, and I think this is going to deliver. It's also set in July 1995. This was set in July. This is also set in July, which it's currently still July. It's not August yet. So all these like July reads are actually so perfect for summerween. So want to read this while it's still July. I'm very intrigued too by, I think there's going to be some supernatural elements in this. It begins, they think it's a serial killer, and then they go into being like, oh, this might be like supernatural, which I'm very intrigued. So maybe a little bit more horror than thriller. I've heard that this one actually is genuinely scary, so I'm very much looking forward to getting into this. So I think I'm going to start this probably now, and then tomorrow I really want to do my summerween spread. So I think my summerween book journal spread, I just want to get down like my TBR and my goals. Definitely make sure I'm still prioritizing my book journal. I have not been this year, and I definitely need to start prioritizing it again, because it's like one of my favorite things that I do, and I love just like documenting my year of reading and being able to look back at it. And summerween is such like a pivotal journal spread that I always love each year, so definitely gotta get that done. So I'm gonna just do it tomorrow so I don't forget about it, and get going on Murder Road. And then when I'm a little bit into it, kind of getting more of a feel of the plot and all that, I will come back and let you guys know how I'm feeling. Welcome to the first candlelit update of the vlog. I have been waiting. I haven't been waiting. I low-key just kind of forgot about this candle, and it's one of my favorite scents of all time, my favorite candles of all time. It is from Crate and Barrel, and they have them in the fall. This is, I don't know which one this is. It's the pumpkin cinnamon vanilla candle. If you got a Crate and Barrel by you, I highly recommend one of these candles. They just like smell like a fall in a cup, and it's perfect for this vlog. I'm so excited that I remembered about its existence, and I'll definitely be picking up another one. But anyway, let's chat about Murder Road, shall we? This book is definitely giving me the creeps. I'm definitely freaked out. I actually read a ton of this book. Like, I wanted to do an update earlier, but genuinely I kind of just like, this hasn't happened to me in a while with a book where I just like couldn't put it down. Like truly, like I was like, okay, I'll do an update after this chapter, after this chapter, after this chapter, but I just could not stop reading. And the only reason I did stop is because it's getting like dark and my mom went to bed. I'm getting a little scared. It's a little scary. I'm a kind of a weenie when it comes to reading books, reading horror books, and I don't know why I subject myself to it, but I love it. So let's talk a little bit about what it's about first. This book basically follows this couple who's on their way to their honeymoon. On their way, they get lost and they end up on this road, and it's late at night. There's this girl on the side of the road. She looks a little maybe drunk, maybe just a little discombobulated, a little lost. So they rolled in the window. It's like, hey, like, do you need help? Do you need a ride? And she was like, okay, yeah, sure. They get in the car. They realize she's covered in blood, and they're like, oh my god. Like, so they take her to the hospital. They find themselves this prime suspects of this murder case, and now they are trying to figure out what happened that night to this girl, how it connects to various other murders that have happened on this road. And there's also like some paranormal elements that are woven into like these murders and what's happening, and it is so creepy. It is so creepy. Oh my god. Any scene with like paranormal parts really freak me out. Like, it's written very well. Like, I feel like I'm genuinely like there. But honestly, one thing I'll say about this book, the scariest thing about it is how god awful the police work is in it. Like, these are the meanest, most incompetent cops in the entire world. They're weirdly bad at their jobs. They're also very narcissistic about their abilities to do their job. And I'm like, where is this false confidence coming from? Like, they haven't solved any of the murders that have happened on this case, and they're so confident that this like couple that is from out of town, like going on their honeymoon, confirmed that they were going to like a resort. And also there were two at the first time of these murders. So it's like, yep, these are our guys. This is them. And they also took the girl to the hospital. So I'm like, are y'all dumb? Like, and then they're so mean to this couple, and I'm like, is this legal? Like, are you allowed to just like throw accusations, talk to them without a lawyer? I'm like, I feel like this case, like, there's just a lot of like illegal things going on, I fear. Everything I've watched from like Criminal Minds and stuff, or Legally Blonde, I'm like, I don't feel like this is right. That aside though, it is super, super spooky. As I said, like, being alone on like a dark road at night is so scary to me, and it's definitely feeding into that fear. I really like our main character, April. She is so interesting. I actually really love her relationship with Eddie. It's Eddie and April. I think they're actually like, it's weird, like, it's not like a romance or anything, but like, I think they're so cute. They were just married. They're both just like happy to be there with each other. It just seems, from what I can see, it seems like a very like pure love that they have. So that's kind of like a nice little relief from it. I'm like, okay, like at least like they're in like the depths of like being haunted and like a murder case, but like at least they love each other. There's also this character in it, Rose. They were like told like not to leave town, and they are staying with this lady, Rose, and she's just like a cranky old woman who runs an inn, and she is so funny. Like, she doesn't really like them, but she likes the cops even less, so like it makes them like allies. And she's so funny. She has like Princess Diana merch everywhere. Like, I love her. Anyway, I am definitely very thoroughly enjoying this. I feel like all the characters, like sometimes like I feel like in horror or thrillers, like who the characters are as people sometimes get like lost within like the trying to scare you bits, but like I definitely feel like very connected to our main character, and I really like that. I have about 100 pages left. It's definitely starting to pick up. We just had like a very scary scene, and now I'm like, I need to watch some booktube and calm myself down before bedtime. But I will definitely be finishing this up tomorrow, and I'm actually really excited because like I haven't, July has also not been a great reading month for me, so I was scared I was gonna only have 4 books read in July, which like would be fine. Like it's not like the end of the world or anything, but you know, I just know how I am with my reading goals or whatnot, and I just like know for myself personally like I can do better than that, and if I'm not reading it that much, it means I've been scrolling too much. So I definitely need to stop that. So I read 2 books pretty quickly in the last couple of days, so I will have 6 books, which is, it's good. It's fine. So I'm very happy I picked this up for Summerween. It's very like, if you're gonna pick this up, like it's very like Midwest summer vibes, if that's what you're into. I feel like a lot of the books I picked out are giving like Midwest summer vibes. I guess like 2. And then Stephen King's always in Maine. I don't know where the alien book is gonna be, but 2 of the books are Midwest, and I love the Midwest. I'm so intrigued. Like I want to finish this tonight, but I know if I do I'm not gonna sleep. But so far I would absolutely recommend this book. If you're looking for a good quick horror, I've read this in like 2 days and like easily. I'll definitely be finishing up this tomorrow, and I'll give you some updates, some other non-book related updates. I finished my Summerween spread today, which I was so happy to finally be getting my journal stuff done. I found those stickers, which I wasn't expecting to find, for the Summerween sign, and it was so cute, and I just like having that down. And tomorrow I've got to film my August TBR and July wrap-up, so I'll probably just stick to reading tomorrow, but I'll definitely be starting a new book tomorrow. I'm thinking I'll probably start Overgrowth because for some reason it's intimidating me, and I feel like I need to like just do it. And I kind of want to save Dead 11 for a night that I know I'm not doing anything, so I want to like read it in the dark. I was so excited to give you an update on this. I'm absolutely loving it so far. It's super fast-paced. I'm very gripped, and I have my theories about the ending, how it's gonna end. If I'm right, that's gonna be exciting because I'm never right about these things. I don't like when I predict endings because like I'm like, well, it's, if I can predict it in a book, it must have been very predictable because I'm really bad at predicting things. But I also have like a kind of a bit of me that's a little like, okay, detective, like I figured it out. I'm a little proud of myself, so I'm a part of me kind of hoping I'm right. I am going to get some sleep, hopefully this hasn't scared me too much out of bedtime. I am going to finish this tomorrow and then come back with you for an update and our next read tomorrow. So I just finished my second book of the readathon and it was really, 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 really good. I'm very excited to talk about it. I also made a little like pumpkin spice latte. It's August 1st officially and I am so ready to pretend that it is fall. I love fall. I love everything about it, and this is really hitting the spot and was perfect for the ending of a spooky read. My only issue with horror books or thriller books that often like have like a twist at the end, like you're kind of waiting for the big final twist, I'm almost always disappointed because like it's never as like twisty or like exciting as I'm hoping it to be. And that I fear kind of happened with Murder Road. The ending kind of felt like one of the killers kind of came out of left field a little bit, and I'm like, okay, like sure, that's fine. And I wanted something a little bit more rattling, I guess, that would make my like jaw drop. That was like, oh my god, I never saw it coming. I like the twist where it's like it's right under your nose the whole time. But I will say I really did enjoy all of like the ghost spooky moments that happened in this book. Anything paranormal in this book was done phenomenally. I could not read any of them at night. It was so freaky, so spooky. And the way it was like the ghost was written, she was a scary bitch. There was like some really good like little like jump scares that happened with the ghost. I really enjoyed that. Definitely creepy, definitely eerie. If you're looking for that vibe with some paranormal elements, this is so good. I just was a little bit disappointed by the twist at the end, which isn't completely abnormal for me with books like these. The lead up to the twist was all really, really good. One thing that I really wish, like the cop and police work that was done in this book was just so awful. I'm like, I wanted a little bit more justice for these people because like they were truly put through the ringer by these awful police enforcement. I wish that they saw a little bit of punishment for the crap that they pull. But overall, I think this was a phenomenal read for Summerween. And this is the one that I've owned for over a year, and I'm very, very happy I have read it. I'm often very, very, very bad about reading books that are actually on my shelves and not just like going out and buying books, and that is how I have come across my little physical TBR problem I have where I own way too many books. I really liked that prompt that was included in the Summerween, and I think I would rate this in like a 3.5 to 4 star category. It was so fast-paced, so like I read it in like a couple of days. It was so good and I absolutely loved it. So the next book that I have started for Summerween is Overgrowth by Mira Grant. This one is kind of like my beast of the Summerween readathon. It intimidates me a little bit just because I knew Murder Road would be fast-paced. I know Dead 11 is going to be fast-paced with like the mixed media. Both of the Stephen King novels are like less than 200 pages. This one is almost 500 pages and the print is quite small. It's also a sci-fi horror, so I know it's going to require a little bit more brain power. I was a little bit intimidated and I'm like, you know what? You can do hard things. Let's just get into it. And I have been very, very excited about this book. I was also a little bit nervous because I didn't realize I went on Goodreads to like mark it as like currently reading, and it has not good reviews on Goodreads. I take Goodreads reviews with such a grain of salt because sometimes it'll be rated really poorly and I absolutely love it, or sometimes the opposite will happen. It's just reading is so subjective, so I try not to let it get to me, but I was like, ooh, like that's not a great sign. But again, I want to form my own opinions, so that was also making me a little bit nervous. But I started it. I'm on chapter 3. I am 60 pages in and I'm actually really enjoying it. It's definitely a different vibe than her Into the Drowning Deep. So far, Into the Drowning Deep included a lot more science elements where I was like convinced that killer mermaids existed. This is just kind of like, yeah, it could happen. This is one of the many possibilities in the world that this could occur. I guess we haven't really gotten too much of the science aspects yet, if it's going to happen, but I really enjoyed that in Into the Drowning Deep. I think the plot line so far is very interesting. It's essentially about this little girl. She's 3 years old. She got lost in the woods for 3 days, but in the woods she came across this plant. This plant is from an alien space shuttle or drone or pod or whatever it was, and they dropped these seeds onto Earth, and it grew into this like deadly plant. This girl stumbles upon this plant, she touches it. The plant essentially kills her, but uses her body as a host for the plant alien to walk around Earth and blend in. So she goes home. Her mom is like, oh my gosh, like you were kidnapped. Like I thought I was never gonna see you again. I'm so like, she's so relieved. And the little girl is like, I'm actually, unfortunately, an alien. I've come to take over your planet. Your daughter is dead and she left me. She's 3. So her mom's like, oh, ha ha ha, kids in their imagination. But she never really grows out of it. Obviously, because like she's telling the truth. She grows up just telling everyone that she is an alien. She's been sent here to take over and there will be an alien invasion, but no one's listening to her. They just think she's crazy. So now it's 35 years later. She like knows it's true that she is, but like she's been like told her entire life it's like, no, it's just a trauma response, like from being kidnapped, like you don't really know what you're talking about. And she's like, I know this is true, but like you all make me doubt myself. She's still fairly certain that she's an alien, and she like tells everyone that she's an alien. It's just like kind of like a quirky personality trait at this point. It's interesting that like it's like a pod that's the alien, like it's like a plant, but but like it makes sense. If there are aliens, they wouldn't necessarily look like humans. Like they could look like a plant. It could be like in the form of a plant. Like intelligent life form could take any type of form. So it's interesting that like it explores that aspect of it, which I like. I do really like our alien, Anastasia, because she's just funny. Like she's kind of just like really funny. I'm like, I know she's sent to like take over the world, but like she's been on Earth for so long as a human. Like she's definitely been humanized. Like she has friends, she has a cat, she works. She doesn't really like people, but she like has a few friends. She's really funny. I like her a lot as a main character. So I'm very interested what role she's going to play in this alien invasion. But yeah, I'm not very far into it, but I'm definitely intrigued. So I'm hoping the Goodreads reviews are not an accurate representation of how I feel about the book, because so far I am very much enjoying it. So today I'm going to Lollapalooza today, and Sunday. I have kind of a booked weekend, to be honest, so I probably won't get that much reading done this weekend, unfortunately. And then we have all of next week as well. I extend these reading vlogs past the 7 days. I like to read all the books I want to read, and I like to include all of them, and I'm just not the fastest reader in the world. So I think I'm going to continue to read this a little bit more today, maybe a little bit when I get back tonight, depending on how tired I am, but definitely tomorrow. And then for the rest of the vlog, I really need to get over to Michael's. I need to get some supplies anyway to start crocheting my boyfriend's birthday gift. And then I also really want to go Halloween decor hunting. So I'm going to go to Michael's. They always have really cute stuff and like cute stickers and all that. And maybe like a Home Goods or TJ Maxx situation, because we're gonna be going back to my apartment in a few weeks, and this literally the second I get back, it's gonna be Halloween. Like we're decorating for Halloween. It's fall in my head. I actually don't start school until late, so it will be fall like when I start. So I'm very excited to do that, and I think maybe Saturday that'll happen, if not Monday. But definitely continuing Overgrowth. I want to try and get much further in. I want to get to this alien invasion. I'm so intrigued. But yeah, that's all the updates I have for you at this current moment. I'm going to keep chugging away at this today, drink some pumpkin spice, and then I will give you guys an update when I am a little bit further into Overgrowth. This book is interesting for sure. I almost DNF'd it. 100 pages in, I was like, oh, oh, I don't love this. And it took me until about 2-ish to be like, okay, like this is fine. It had a really strong start. I was very intrigued, and then I feel like it went to a lull, and now I'm kind of intrigued again. I'm definitely not going to DNF it now because I'm like almost 300 pages in, but it's definitely, I'm struggling to get through it, which is so odd. It's so disappointing because I really love Mira Grant, and I wish that I liked this as much as I liked Into the Drowning Deep. I feel like in the future her books for me are definitely going to be some library picks. I'm definitely going to still read them. I feel like she's definitely going to be more hit or miss. So the first part of the book is like, it's leading up to this alien invasion, and this girl, basically she's an alien in a human's body. Obviously she grew up as a human, she has some like human friends, human tendencies. Her friends are so sweet. I love Mandy, and I love who's her best friend roommate, and her boyfriend Graham. Her and Graham's relationship is actually phenomenal. I love their little romance side thing. They're so cute together. He knows she tells him straight up like, I'm an alien. He loves her for who she is. I think they're quite cute together. If anything, I'm reading for Graham. Wish we got some more Graham content. However, the problem is we get further into like this alien invasion. Obviously, because she kind of is very compelled just to like tell everyone that she's an alien. It's almost like she can't really help it. Like, she just tells everyone she's an alien. The aliens start like sending messages to Earth, like people start to believe that this invasion is coming, and heads are all turned to the girl who's always like, I'm an alien. But honestly, the way a lot of like people on Earth are like treating this invasion and treating her, it makes me like not root for the humans. I'm almost rooting for the aliens. I'm like, yeah, like we suck. The thing is with her, like, yes, the process to get turned into an alien, like the plant killed a little girl and now she's living in the little girl's body. The way it's described is that like the plant was just kind of doing what the plant's gonna do. Like, it wasn't her being sentient while doing this and being like, oh, let me kill this little girl. Like, she kind of just like winded up in her body, and she's like, oh, I'm an alien, I'm here now. And she has no memory like before that. So I feel like it's really not her fault. Like, she was just kind of like put here as like a warning or like whatever. So, but they're so mean to her. Like, all these scientists, I'm like, as like a human race, we're handling this horribly. It really, like, they piss me off so much. Like, it literally makes me root for the aliens. Like, I hate viscerally these characters. I think that's when I was kind of getting into the depths of like, I was just so annoyed. I wanted to DNF it, but I was like, no, I'm like, I was 150 pages in at this point. I was like, let's give it another go. Let's keep trying. And I was like, all right. And I'm glad I did, because we're getting a little bit into the invasion now, and I'm definitely intrigued because like the way these aliens work is just fascinating. They're plants, pretty much. Like, they're sentient plants. And I like that because it's like, who's to say that that's not a thing? And it's very creative. It's interesting too because like she goes into like these like dreamscapes where she can like connect with her other aliens, but she can only like talk to them and connect with them like through her dreams, which is really interesting. And I wonder if that's going to still be the case like once the aliens get to Earth. But that's kind of where I'm at now, with the aliens are just descending on Earth now. And I'm really curious like how they're gonna react to each other, because like she's never met like her, she's only lived among people, so she has no idea what non-human interaction is like. So I'm very curious whether she's going to like immediately like click with these aliens because like they're her kind, or if she is going to like stick with what she knows and stand by the humans even though they were atrocious to her. So I'm definitely intrigued. I'm gonna keep reading. It's definitely not my favorite book in the world, but I'm this far in, so might as well. Yeah, I realized I haven't had an update in a few days because I had Lollapalooza this weekend, and then I was just like wiped. Like, if you've ever been to like a really big music festival like that, like it just wears you out. Like, I've been rotting all day yesterday and today, but I'm trying to get some energy back, trying to get the will to finish this book. I'm actually so excited because tonight the new season of Wednesday just came out, which is so spooky and so fun and so perfect for right now. Love Wednesday. I love Wednesday so much. So I'm probably gonna watch that first episode tonight and hopefully try to finish Overgrowth and I am really hoping to get to the last 2 books of this vlog. Lollapalooza definitely just like completely took me behind on my reading plans, so hopefully I can get my other 2 books read. The other 2 books like look quick though. Like, this was like my beast, so when I finish this I think the books will finish a lot quicker, but we'll see. I will update you when I finish this book, and hopefully we'll have a bit of a happier update. Hopefully I enjoy the ending and I have a better conclusion for you guys. I finally finished Overgrowth, and thank God, because I didn't like it. I did not enjoy this book. It was just so sad to say because I loved her other one. I'm still going to continue to read Mira Grant books, but I think it's going to be a library pick instead of going to buy them at the store. First, my first gripe with this is I feel like it was marketed wrong. It says sci-fi horror on the back. I didn't get much horror in this. Like, at least I was a little spooked with Into the Drowning Deep. I just wasn't getting sci-fi horror. I was getting sci-fi for sure, like with the alien invasion, of course. I just wasn't getting the horror aspect, I fear. But, you know, that aside, I also felt like at the end, the alien invasion, like we were all hyped up for this invasion. It wasn't, okay, those cicadas in the background. It was so nice and peaceful to me in summer. I could film out here, but it seems like maybe that isn't going to be the case. The invasion wasn't very exciting. I didn't feel that connected to it. I was like, whatever at that point. It just wasn't very like thrilling. It wasn't like live up to this crazy invasion. I mean, it was crazy in the sense that like they invaded Earth. The invaders weren't that like scary, I guess. I don't know how to explain this without spoiling it. They were weirdly nice, but maybe it's because they were in the perspective of Anastasia, who is also an alien, but sometimes they like made valid points. I was like, yeah, this is fine, invade Earth, do what you gotta do. But like, they made some pretty valid points to invade Earth. I'm like, I couldn't argue with it. And as I said, the humans just kept really upsetting me, where I'm like, yeah, invade their planet. I don't like these humans anymore. I'm tired of them. Did love like her and Graham, as I will say, he's my favorite character. I love Anastasia and Graham. They were cute. I was like, all right, slide in a little romance if that's what you want to do. They were sweet together. One nice thing I will say about this book is I do feel like it explored really interesting elements of human nature in it, which I thought was really interesting. It had a really deep analysis of how humans behave, because that's what she was kind of there to do, like integrate, be a human, understand what it means to be a human. And she came up with some pretty interesting conclusions, which I thought was a nice like commentary in there, which I enjoyed. But yeah, I think that and Graham, and I also liked when the aliens came, their way of thinking and the way they communicated was really interesting. I just felt like it was kind of really dragged out. Like, it didn't need to be this long. Like, the way they were explaining this forest that they all live in, or like their dreamscape, the way they explained was just so dragged. And I was like, we don't need all this. I get it, okay? They're in a forest. It told us a lot of like what the forest like looked like, but it wasn't a lot of explaining of what it meant or this world that they were going to. It like hyper focused on some elements of this alien invasion and completely left other elements completely unanswered. And I was like, so I still don't fully understand it, and I'm like, was kind of waiting for that. But I just didn't love this book. I felt like it took me forever to finish. I didn't want to finish it. But now I can finally put it down. Don't have to think about it anymore. I am going to move on to Dead 11 by Jimmy Giuliano though. I refuse to let Overgrowth put me into a slump. I can't do another slump of the summer. One was enough. So we're just going to hop right into my next read, Dead 11, which, as I said, it is a creepy island off of Door County where everyone has strange obsession with the year 1994. It begins with Willow, who is a mom, and when she discovers the words Clifford's Island written on the floor of her deceased son. She's never heard of it before, she doesn't understand why it'd be written there, and it's 200 miles away from where they are. So like, she's very perplexed as to why her son would have that on his floor. So she goes to the island to try and figure it out. A few days on Clifford Island, she realizes that it's like really weird, and everyone is so stuck in this year. They wear outdated clothing, they avoid modern technology, and I guess they watch the O.J. Simpson car chase every evening, which is kind of funny. But when she asks questions, people are evasive. She learns one thing, which is to close the curtains at night. Then there's a high schooler named Lily who has lived on Clifford her entire life, but then she goes to the mainland and realizes this is weird, and she sets off to figure out why this is happening. And 5 weeks later, after all of that, Willow, the mom, disappears, and her brother, Harper, comes to Clifford to search for her. And when he learns the truth that this island has some very sinister undertones, he is determined to blow it open, which I am so intrigued about this book. I really like, again, that it's mixed media. I think I'm gonna fly through it, which is perfect for me right now to avoid a little slumpy-roo. And I just think it's a really interesting concept. Truly, like, all the books that I've picked up for Summerween have been very unique, if anything, which I really, really like. Even Overgrowth, like, even though it wasn't my favorite read, it was extremely outside the box and a unique concept, which I always appreciate. The same goes for Dead 11, so I'm really, really excited to hop into this, avoid my slump. I know I said I'd read this at night. It's not night right now, but I'll do most of the reading of it at night, but it's not in the mood to start with Stephen King right now, so we're gonna go with this. The rules can be bended and stretched to my will, so it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and start reading this. Get away from the loud cicadas. I feel like I'm shouting over them. This is crazy. They are so loud. I think tomorrow I'm definitely gonna go to Michael's. I was gonna go right now today, but I realized it was like 4 o'clock and I didn't want to get stuck in rush hour traffic, so I'm like, I'll go tomorrow. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna be actually back in my apartment this weekend, so you guys will be seeing me there. Very excited. I might get a head start on decorating for fall there. But for now, I'm gonna start Dead 11, and I will chat with you guys in a little bit. Unfortunately the last day of Summerween, but I wanted to show you guys. Me and Logan went to a thrift store this weekend. We did some thrifting, and at this thrift store they had the biggest display of Halloween stuff ever. I'm definitely going back there to pick up some more, but I wanted to like pace myself. But for the sake of the video, I got some. But it was so affordable. Like everything was like in like the $2 to $4 range, which was insane. I'm so happy I didn't end up going to Michael's because I got so many better deals here. Michael's can be very overpriced for what you get, and you can get just as cute, if not cuter, Halloween stuff at like your local thrift. I just want to show you a few things that I got. The first thing I got was these leaves for like $1.70. They're just like parchment leaves. I thought they'd be really cute. It says for like plate or table, but I think they'd be cute for like just to hang around like random places around the apartment. And then next year maybe my future classroom, which would be really cute for fall. I'm also starting this year to collect stuff for my classroom, so things have like a multi-use. This was only $1.70, and it's just like, sometimes I like non-scented candles because I can be very sensitive to scent, but I love like the ambiance of a candle. This does not smell like anything, but it's really cute. It just has like a gold leaf on it, and for $1.70, like this is adorable. So very excited about that. This was $1.20, which was insane, It's just this little leaf holder with the cutest little bird on it, and I just love trinket holders. So the second I saw this for $1. And lastly, I got this little like baking tray. It was $2.30, which is crazy. Going to Williams-Sonoma and this would be 40 bucks. But it has just like some acorns, leaves. I thought this would be really cute to make like my maple cookies that I really love. I think this would be very cute. So I'm very excited about my little fall haul. I always do a little bit of shopping for Summerween, so I was very excited about this. Oh, Fergie has come to be a little Dennis the Menace. But I also wanted to do a quick overview of all the books I read during Summerween. I read almost 4 books, which in the span, I feel like is pretty good for a readathon. I didn't get to my 5th book, but that's okay because there's just novella and I'll definitely get to it this Halloween. So the first book as I read was The Mist. I landed on a 3.5 for this. I really enjoyed it. Then I read Murder Road, which was a huge surprise. I ended up really loving this book, and I think I'm gonna land on a 4-star. Overgrowth was unfortunately kind of a dud. I didn't love it. I was kind of excited for it to be over. I think I'm gonna rate this like a 2.5. I liked points for like the relationship in it. I thought Graham was very sweet and I liked the main character, but like the storyline just fell apart for me. And then let's talk a little bit about Dead 11. I am on page 230 of this. I will definitely finish this sometime like either today or tomorrow, but I want to give you guys my thoughts, and then my final thoughts on it will be in my monthly wrap up as always. For right now, I'm really enjoying this. It's such a quick read. I feel like if I just sit down for a couple hours, I'll be completely done with it. It follows like 4 different timelines. There's a lot of mixed media, which I love. We get text messages, emails, different news articles. It's really interesting. As I said, it's about like Willow, and now but then Willow goes missing and now her brother's looking for her, but he's on this island. It's very strange. I really like how we don't know very much. Like, we know as much as Harper knows, or like the brother knows. We know that there's something really odd about this island. We know that islanders are definitely hiding something. They're definitely a little off. They're a little bit scaring me. And we know that there's some kind of evil on this island. But again, it's not explained in the slightest, so we have no idea. We're learning along with the characters what's going on, which I love. I hate when like books like tell you exactly what's happening right away. Like, I want to learn as it goes forward. So I'm definitely very interested to get to the end of this book, unlike Overgrowth, where I was like excited for it to be over. I'm excited for this to be over so like I know what happens kind of way. I'm really happy I picked this up. I really am loving this one. I've never truly read anything like it. I'm so intrigued like what this evil is. Like there's a lot of like urban legends that are being like floated around, so I'm very interested to see like how all of those tie in. I also love all the characters. One of them is like the high school student Lily, who's kind of like helping him out. She's playing a very integral part of this. She's so funny. She like grew up on this island and she doesn't believe any of this crap. Well, like people will like, you have to do this and like you have to like to keep the evil away, and she's like, whatever you say, you crazy loons. Like, she just wants off of this island. And she's kind of real. Like, if I was told growing up all this crap and I never like saw it myself, I'd be like, y'all are off your rocker. So she's the only like kind of semi-sane person on this island, but she doesn't believe it. Like, it's true, what's happening is very true on this island, but she's like, no. I am very much enjoying this, very excited to keep going with it. Unfortunately, that comes to the end of the Summerween vlog. This was such a good Summerween. I didn't get done everything I wanted to get done. It was still a really good time. I got my journal spread done, did some Halloween shopping, which is always like the main things I want to get done, plus the reading, of course. And I feel like 4 books, or almost 4 books, is pretty good, especially for my slower reading pace that's been happening. But yeah, I just love Summerween and I'm very sad that it's over, but that means fall reading is just around the corner. I'm very excited, and let me know which, I have some ideas for some fall videos, but if you have any that you would like to see from me, please let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's vlog, and if you like me or my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, my other socials are linked below. I'm fairly active on all of them. But thank you so much again for watching. I hope you guys have a fabulous week, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!